That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to a special edition of Higher Ed Pulse. I'm your host, Mallory Wilsey, and we're live at the 2024 AMA Symposium for the Marketing of Higher Education, bringing you conversations directly from the floor with thought leaders, innovators, and industry changemakers. Let's dive in and check the pulse of what's happening right here at the symposium.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to be with you from the American Marketing Association. We are talking leadership, and I am joined today by Claire and Nikki. Thanks so much for being here and taking time. Claire, tell us where you're from and what you're looking forward to about the conference.
My name is Claire Skelton. I'm from Southeast Missouri State University, and I am the Assistant Director of Content Marketing. This is my first time at AMA, so I'm so excited to be a sponge and just absorb everything here.
And Nikki, what about you? Your first time as well?
Yes, it is. So I'm excited just to learn marketing as a whole and then also branding, because I am the design manager at Southeast Missouri State. And so we are excited to kind of see what we can bring back and incorporate into our work.
Well, and so important is that we're always learning. And one of the things that I love about both of y'all is that you are always learning. You know, one of the things that you have both completed is the Lessons in Leadership course, and you've been working through those lessons. Talk a little bit about what value you've seen in that and why it was important for you to engage in that conversation when it became available.
I think it's been so beneficial that Nikki and I, we've moved up in our position at CML to be a leader. And to have her to discuss these new challenges that we're facing, and then to be able to go through lessons in leadership together, I feel like you and I, we kind of lean on each other a lot for, what do you think about this, and how should I maybe go about asking someone this question?
Yeah, so we've kind of been completing the course together, like Claire mentioned, and we have been doing weekly meetings and kind of discussing what has been standing out to us, and then also helping each other pick up on what maybe one of her leadership characteristics are that I see that she hasn't seen, and vice versa. And then also just working through with our employees and the people that we are supervising now, and figuring out how each one is different and how we can apply those techniques to each person.
How special, though, that y'all get to do this together, because I'm sure it's really, unique that you have somebody that you're going through this course together, you can bounce an idea off of, you can hold each other accountable and make sure that you're getting the work done, but that your entire teams are benefiting from that too.
I think also Nikki and I were very vulnerable with each other, and she knows my weaknesses, but also my strengths, and vice versa. So I think we complement each other really well in going through this course.
And so I'm curious, is there any one lesson or tactic or skill that you've picked up from the course that you're going to keep with you and be able to use in the coming year? And maybe y'all both can answer that.
Yeah, so I think one thing that stood out to me the most was the situational leadership, and just thinking of we have so many projects constantly going, and each one requires a different skill set or things like that. So trying to figure out how I can meet my designers where they need to be with information, or helping them through different skills that they may need help with growing. So I think that was really beneficial, just learning not every situation is going to be the same, and learning how to be flexible with how you take an approach to it.
And I love what you said there, because so much of it is on the leader to be the one that adapts and figures that out, because our teams have so much on their plate that they don't have time to also figure out exactly sometimes what they need, that's really on us. So how cool that you're really getting those skills and being able to kind of meet them where they are and be able to evaluate the task versus the relationship. Okay, Claire, I'm curious, what about you?
I think the same. You had mentioned in your course that you realized some of the faults that you might have as a leader, where you said that you sometimes cut people off, but it's not in a bad way. It's just you very excited about what they're saying to you. And that made me reflect, because I think that is also an issue I have, is where I get so excited where I am cutting someone off, but I need to just hold back and listen, and just seeing the psychology of how being a leader is so much, we are skilled in our role and we're going to do a great job as in our new roles, but being a leader is so much more about the personalities and who we're getting to talk with and work with.
You know, and I love what you said about listening, because that's so hard sometimes. I think we're hardwired to want to immediately respond, myself included, because you're absolutely right. I even did it to somebody yesterday. I got really excited about what they were saying and I finished their sentence. And so I have to be better at that. We all can improve. And I think that's part of leadership, is that it's aspirational. We never arrive. We can always be learning, always be improving. And so I'm curious, as you're thinking about AMA, you know, the sessions are kicking off. It's early on, you know, Monday. We're just getting into the meat of the sessions. I'm curious what you're looking forward to, what you're hoping to learn, and how you're kind of taking that leadership mindset from the course and bringing that into what you're looking for out of the conference.
Yeah, so there are so many different programs and different people that we're going to be able to listen to. And so I'm in charge of our CRM and social media. And I love that there's social media sessions and different tactics that I'm going to be able to take back to my team. And then I also am excited for, on Wednesday, there is going to be a class, not a class, but a program where they talk about your seat at the table, like the leadership table. And I think that'll be really beneficial so that I understand my role so much more and to talk with others who are now coming into that role as well.
What about you?
Yeah, so I think one main thing is like we're getting ready to go through a rebranding process currently. And so just learning more about branding as a whole and like taking more of the narrow mindset that I have with our brand guidelines away and just starting to like absorb everything that it could be, and then learning the skills to guide our team through that process is something that I'm really looking forward to. And then also just the other leadership courses and programs that are going to be offered, I think will really help us be able to go back to our teams and really relay that information to them. So.
You know, one of the things that we saw in the opening session this morning is they asked folks if it was their first time attending to raise their hand, and the room was full. And so I know we're just getting started here at the conference, but for those first-time attendees who might be listening to this or might be on the fence about, should I try to go next year, what advice would you give them about being here and being engaged in these conversations?
Go for sure. It's so exhilarating to be around all of these people who are facing the same challenges, but also it's so exciting to be able to feel empowered. And I can't wait to bring back all the information. And wow, it's just started.
Yeah, well, we haven't been into any programs yet because it is our first time. I know last night at the opening welcome reception, we had so much fun just walking around to all the vendors and learning about different possibilities, meeting new people. And so it's been really exciting so far, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the week's going to be like.
All right, everybody, you heard it here. If you were on the fence, the message is go. Thanks so much to both Claire and Nikki for taking time out of the conference, as busy it is to talk about leadership and how we can continue to evolve and grow as leaders. Thanks, everybody. We'll have another session out soon. Have a great day.
The Higher Ed Pulse is part of the Enrollify Podcast Network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too. Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional. Our show helps higher ed marketers and admission pros find their next big idea and features a selection of the industry's best as your hosts. Learn from Brian Gross, Eddie Francis, Jenny Lee Fowler, and so many of your favorite leaders in higher ed. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.